You want to share their stuff, make sure that you do, especially if it's something that's positive. I am so pleased to see so many people now that were maybe, negative Ned, Debbie Downer, that sort of stuff as a rule. And now they've made the switch. They must have had their own aha moment of something that happened that they realized, you can't sweat the stuff you can't change. That's the bottom line. There's nothing you can do about it. Don't get caught up in it, right? Just control your surroundings. Make sure that you're doing the best that you can for yourself. And your whole attitude will change. And if you suffer from headaches and migraine and depression and anxiety, you start making some small tweaks in your life, and your life will indeed change. Maybe add some meditation in there. Win, 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 right? So another thing that you can, she's from Forest. Thank you, Chuck. She's from Forest, Ontario, which is not far from here, 20 minutes, a half an hour. So, time for the good news. Let's get into that. So, very cool story. I love random acts of kindness. So, this mother never thought that she would be crying over stuffed animals from Target, but after a visit to the store earlier this week, she couldn't help but tear up. Alyssa Hacker was at the department store with her 18-month-old son Owen in Fort Smith, Arkansas, when they found the toy section. Delighted by the toys, Owen started playing with 3 of the stuffed dinosaurs. While Alyssa was trying to figure out which of the 3 toys her son wanted, Owen suddenly said, "Hi," to an elderly stranger in the aisle. Alyssa says this behavior was not out of the ordinary for her son, because he's a very outgoing toddler. She even says that his favorite thing to do is to say hi and bye to strangers. I love it. After he greeted the man in the store, however, the senior responded by saying, "Hey, sweet boy." Despite Alyssa being wary of strangers getting too close to her son, the man and the boy began to chat and play. Suddenly, the man pulled out his wallet. The man got out his wallet and pulled a $20 bill out. He put it in Owen's pocket on his shirt and said, "I just lost my 2-year-old grandson last week. Oh. You take this money and buy this boy all 3 dinosaurs." And he rubbed Owen's back, wiped his tears, and walked off. Alyssa wrote on Facebook. After Owen yelled, "Thank you," the gentleman turned around and yelled, "Boomer sooner. There's still some good in this world." That is so cool. Alyssa did use the $20 to buy the dinosaurs and later spoke to Today, saying, "These 3 stuffed dinosaurs have more meaning than I ever thought a stuffed animal from Target could have. We will hold on to these memories forever." That is so awesome. You know why I stuttered on the word Target? Because we used to have a joke between the girls, because Sarnia is a border city to Port Huron, Michigan, and there's a Target over there. And I had this friend, and she'd say, "I'm going shopping at the high-end store, Target." And it was Target all along, but she called it Target. It was the funniest thing. So now that's stuck in my head forever. So this is really cool. We talk so often about doing research. Please don't share stuff on Facebook unless you know it's true. And me too. If you see that I do it, nail me on it every time, because I know better as well. So this article is very cool. Following Google's steps, Bing announced Friday it will include fact-checking labels in its search results. Bing's new fact-check label feature will help internet surfers see which stories are real and which aren't. The tag will show up on news, major stories, and web pages within the search results in a broad range of categories, including current events, health, science, and politics. The site will use fact checks from Snopes and PolitiFact. I don't know that one. I'll have to check it out. For stories appearing on search results preview. While not all articles appearing in the results will be fact-checked, the company hopes the labels on some stories will have an effect on the other ones related to it, as users will be able to see that the story has already been proved wrong on another site. Even if people start seeing it, honestly, and it just gets them in the idea of even asking the question, do you think that's true? It's got to start somewhere. The label may be used on both news articles and web pages that Bing has determined contained fact-check information to allow users to have additional information to judge for themselves what information on the internet is trustworthy, Bing said in a post. Search results with a fake news story will display a false label on it and display which organization fact-checked the article. The fact-check label that's so cool. Fact-check tags to search results will be added. Very good. The feature will be run on the schema.org claim review markup. Bing gave some advice to those who want to add the tag to their articles or web pages. Very good. See, so we're making some, and it's a longer article than that. It gets more into detail. But we're really making some leeway here, and this is fantastic because you see so many people share stuff that just gets people riled up. And like we were saying, you can't sweat the stuff you can't change, but you need to stop sharing stuff that is just riling people up, and getting them all upset. And not everybody has self-control. You can really post something like late at night. Last night, I could have posted something really late that, 100 people got up this morning and looked at. I bet 100 people probably from my friends list do check their Facebook at least before they go to work. So, how does that set off your day when the first thing you do is you look at something that just gets you riled right up? So you react, and then next thing you know, something else, and then you're in that frame of thinking, right? The negative, the angry. Being angry is a choice. And quite often, instead of choosing not to be angry, we choose to find more reasons to be angry. Ha ha ha. So, definitely something you don't want to do. So, this is absolutely wonderful, and I hope people catch on, and that is so very cool. So then my last story. We are just at the end of wedding season. Although, there's never a time that weddings stop. But summer is the busiest time, right? So this is a pretty cool story. It may be a bride's worst nightmare. On the eve of her wedding day, something goes wrong, like the carefully prepared handmade wedding cake falling apart in the trunk of a car. Oh my gosh. This is exactly what happened to Millie and Matt Maltby when they were on their way to their wedding venue in Brixham, England earlier this month. The couple had driven to the Berry Head Hotel from Lincoln only to find that the beautiful 3-tiered cake that Millie had painstakingly prepared for the occasion had fallen to pieces in the trunk of the car. I had baked, secured, doweled, and decorated my own cake, and we are quite cautious to drive carefully, Millie wrote on Facebook. However, when we arrived and opened the cake box, it appeared that the hot weather caused the buttercream to melt and the cake just gave up. Oh my goodness. I was a very calm bride, and it didn't seem to matter as I was marrying the man of my dreams, and everything else seemed so insignificant. Matt, on the other hand, was heartbroken. He felt awful as I had taken so long to bake and decorate the cake, and I had been taunting him about how yummy the cake was going to be. It's melted, you can still eat it, just saying. I was sad to think that we wouldn't have a cake. I've always been the crafty baking type, and I knew my family would be expecting to see something amazing. The hotel whisked away the cake and told me they'd figure something out for me. I pushed it to the back of my mind and tried to enjoy having all my family around me the night before my wedding day. As fate would have it, Claire Vaz of Patty's Piece of Cake Bakery was delivering cupcakes to the hotel at the same time that everyone was worrying over the damaged wedding cake. Vaz then got to repairing the cake using the surviving segments of Millie's original creation. With time against me, I just didn't have time to bake, cool, and decorate a new middle tier. So thankfully, I had a dummy cake which I used to create the new middle tier. Oh, brilliant. The top tier, a delicious smelling lemon cake, thankfully I could save. So I stripped it back down, crumb-coated and recovered it in white. The next day, Vaz had the cake. which was almost identical recreation of the original. Back to the hotel, in time for the wedding. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting the bride and groom. I don't even know their name other than Millie and Matt from the lovely cake topper, says Vaz. So, Mrs. Millie and Mr. Matt, while your cake plans sadly didn't go in our favor, I am pleased to have hopefully saved the day with a cake that is not as perfect as your original, but will help make memories of your special day. To take the time to do that for a stranger is just astounding, and something you don't see anymore, says Millie. I don't think I'll ever be able to thank Claire enough. That is so awesome, isn't it? And once again, somebody's stepping out to help someone else. That's what it's all supposed to be about, isn't it? So there you go. There's your good news for today. All those articles will be posted on the Facebook Positive Power page. And we're not going to talk about a food today. We are going to talk about how to stay motivated. So here is my top 10 list of how to stay motivated. Number 1, take it one day at a time. Number 2, surround yourself with positivity. Number 3, create a vision board. Number 4, make smart goals. Number 5, reward yourself. Number 6, believe in yourself. Number 7, acknowledge your positive attributes. Number 8, recognize your progress. Number 9, visualize accomplishing your goals. Number 10, be kind to yourself. And number 11, don't compare yourself to others. And I'm going to add one more. Number 12, realize that what other people think of you is really none of your business. True fact, right? It really doesn't matter. It's what you think that matters. So there you go. So there's your good news. There's your list for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will go back to some positive music here on the Playfair Music audio stream.